Hello Bookish friends, welcome to another Tag Tuesday video. In today's video I'm going to do tricks or treat tag. This tag was created by Meg and Heather and I was tagged by Meg. Because this is a seasonal tag, I wanted to do it quite soon after I was tagged. This tag is quite easy to do actually. We have to choose 5 books that tricked us and 5 books that were a treat for us. I have so many books that I can talk about in this tag. I wanted to limit myself to the books that I read in the year 2025, and I will talk about the books that were most disappointing for me and the books that I was very pleasantly surprised, because the definition of being tricked and being treated I think fits those categories the best. I will first of all talk about the books that tricked me, which means that they disappointed me. I will do them in chronological order. First book that disappointed me was A Crack in the Wall by Claudia Pineiro. I read this book in February because I was fascinated by the last book that we read in the Pineiro project, which was Anna Knows. I had high expectations for this book. This book is written from the point of view of an architect, which made me even more interested when I read the plot. However, the book was a big letdown in terms of mystery and plot development. So that was the first one that tricked me. Just right after reading that book, I also read a book that disappointed me very much, which was Olağanüstü bir Gece by Stefan Zweig. I previously read The Chess Game by that author and really loved it. Although this book was not a bad book, I felt meh about it. It was not as fascinating as The Chess Game. I read the third book that disappointed me in April, which was Fairest of them all by Teresa Mederios. This is the last book in a book quartet of historical romances. I've enjoyed the previous 3 books very much. I thought they were quite funny. However, in this one, especially the main male character was very disappointing. The main female character could have been better without him, which is something that you should never feel if you are a romance reader. Fourth book was in July, Zamanı, Durdurmanın Yolları by Haig, How to Stop Time by Haig. Like the previous books that I've talked about, after reading The Midnight Library, I had very high hopes that this book would be as engaging and as meaningful as that one. However, the book just felt meh, and I really did not understand the message that it was trying to give. This book that disappointed me was a book that I read quite recently in October. The Small Things Like These by Keegan. I read this book for my in-person book club. From the messages of the members of my club, I felt like I'm in the minority who's feeling this way. I've heard incredible things about Keegan's writing. Maybe I overhyped her in my mind, but her writing felt very dry. So this was 5th book that disappointed me the most in 2025. Now we are coming to the more positive section of the video, which are the treats. The first book that very pleasantly surprised me was Matilda by Roald Dahl. I read this book in January. Really did not like many of the books that I read from Roald Dahl. Many friends also said that Matilda was different, and I certainly do understand that. Although it was not a favorite book, I really had a fun time reading the book and enjoyed the adventures of Matilda. The second book was the short story belonging to Wonder Universe by R.G. Palacio, the Julian chapter. I read this short story in March. Although I really did love Wonder, I was quite hesitant about a short story from the point of view of the bully of the book Wonder. But I loved the perspective of Julian and how prejudiced we can be about a child and what he goes through without really knowing them. So I thought this was a very pleasant read, as well as a good life lesson even for me. Third book that really surprised me was a category romance book that I read in May. which was A Sheriff's Star by Mackenna. Although I enjoy reading category romance and try to read one each month, I view category romance as books that brings a smile and have quite cliches. In this book, although there were some cliches, the relationship between a girl with Down syndrome, with her mother and her potential father, was the most important relationship in this book for me. I read some of the chapters with tears in my eyes because of the sweetness of the book. It was not a book that I was expecting to love this much. Fourth book was The Strange Journey of Alice Pendelbury by Marc Levy. I read this book in June. I received this book free from Amazon on a World Book Day, I think in 2020. I was pleasantly surprised by this book because of two reasons. The first one was that it took place in my country and viewed Turkey in a very positive light, which of course was a delight. And also the structure of the book was very, very interesting. And the characters were quite complex and also quite lovable. And last but not least, the fifth book that I felt was a treat was Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. I very recently finished this book. Charles Dickens was actually an author that I gave a last chance by reading this book. But I loved the character of Oliver Twist so much. I started to recognize the very good writing of Charles Dickens by being so much invested in the story. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised to finally see what makes readers so interested in Charles Dickens. This was certainly a very big treat for me. Meg in her original video tagged many of my friends. However, I want to tag some booktubers whom I did not see in her video. Kelly, Tracy, Mitzi, and Bekah. So those were my books for trick or treat tag. Please comment down below, have you read the books that I've talked about in this video and what did you think of them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose treat. Treat means kandırmak in Turkish and kandırmak is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.